Back in 1953, residents of Springfield, Missouri started finding cobras in their yards. Now, this story is like something out of Andy Griffith. It's ridiculous and insane, and it is true completely. You can Google it, and I suggest you do because it's probably even funnier that way. In 1953, somebody found an Indian cobra in their yard, and they killed it. They called it in, and of course, everybody was concerned. Why would there be an Indian cobra in a yard in Missouri, which is, really, really, really far away from where Indian cobras come from? It was concerning. They went to a local pet shop. The pet shop owner denied having lost any cobras. But then another one showed up. Now, you have to picture this. You have to picture the 1950s. Picture those cars, those people, the way they're presented in the media. I find it easier just literally to picture Barney Fife. This is 100% true. One of the snakes that was found went underneath someone's house, and when they couldn't scare it out or use a stick with a loop to kind of grab it, they threw tear gas under this person's house. And when the snake came out, they shot the snake with their service revolver. They actually shot the snake dead in the person's yard. Ultimately, it turned out that there were maybe 11 or 12 snakes, I'm not entirely sure, that had gotten loose. And to catch them, they actually drove around playing snake charmer music out of a vehicle. The local snake catcher volunteers were playing this snake charmer music to try to lure these in. They ended up finding and killing 11 or 12 of them, and it remained a mystery as to where these came with for like 30 years until the 80s when somebody actually came forward and explained that he had purchased a fish from this pet store. The fish died. He was upset. He came back and tried to get his money back. He was a kid. He was, just a young teenager. The owner was a jerk to him in his description. The owner was a jerk. So on his way out of the store, he saw this crate of snakes out behind the place and cracked it open and let the snakes out without the owner knowing. So as far as the owner knew, he just had an empty crate that was supposed to have snakes in it, and I'm sure he was scared and didn't want to say anything. But the local community freaked out because they suddenly had these Indian cobras around, and of course they had to play snake charming music and shoot them and scare them out with tear gas. I wouldn't believe it, except I saw it in a local museum. I live in Springfield, Missouri. I saw it in our local history museum, and I took to Google to find out if it's true, and it completely is. Just wild. What was that? Be cool, man.